your home for the most local news. News 10 ABC in the morning starts now.
Try to find the person who did this as quickly as possible.
A community dealing with violence once again after a man was shot and killed. Here's a live look we'll show you right now. Investigators still on the scene, and we'll check in with News 10 ABC Sam Damasio in just a moment.
Another investigation happening right now. Federal officials looking into a New York healthcare company. We'll explain why.
I closed my eyes, I held on.
Holding on for dear life as that roller coaster derailed here when one of the victims knew something went terribly wrong. Frightening. She's okay. We'll tell you more about that story coming up. Hope you all had a great weekend. Beautiful weather. I know it was hot yesterday.
It was warm,
but it was a nice summer weekend. Great for dads.
Enjoy it, cool off of the water.
You had a good day?
Wonderful day.
Good. Hope all the dads stay out there. Dads, grandfathers. And now to Jess, because we know things change in terms of things not being comfortable.
Exactly. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. As you plan today, just know it'll probably feel about 10 to maybe 12 degrees hotter than what you felt yesterday. It gets hotter today where, let's be real, a lot of you are trying to plan time to be in the pool, go to the splash pad. Mom, Dad, you're going to pull out that sprinkler for the kids to run through. Please be weather aware later today. It's not smooth sailing with this forecast. And I've got some weather headlines rigged up. So a steamy Monday is absolutely ahead. If you're trying to beat the heat, because it will be especially hot, hazy, and humid, just know that heat index is close to 100 degrees for a lot of us later on this afternoon. We have a heat advisory in place, an air quality concern. We have a mix of sun and clouds. That time the clouds winning. But our bigger concern with the threat for showers and thunderstorms moves in later on. Be especially weather aware by the late afternoon going through tonight. 4 to 8 o'clock is that window of opportunity where we could see damaging wind gusts. We could see very heavy downpours. So again, check back often, stay updated, and then find more comfort in the forecast with the next few days ahead. I'll have all the details in just a bit. Christina and Ryan, back to you.
Thank you, Jess. Breaking overnight, 19-year-old shot and killed in Columbia County.
Police now identifying a person of interest, and they're asking for your help finding him. News 10 ABC Samantha Damasio joins us live in Hudson, where investigators are still on the scene there behind you, Sam.
Good morning. Well, the forensics team did just leave the scene moments ago. They had been here through the night collecting evidence, going in and out of the home, taking pictures. You can see that there is an officer still parked out in front of 20 Fairview Avenue this morning monitoring the scene. But I want you to take a look at this picture right here. This is 27-year-old Mohammed Morshid. They believe that this is the man responsible for last night's shooting that killed a 19-year-old. And they say that this is the car that Morshid drives. It's a 2013 black BMW 525 with New York plates. They want your help in searching for him, and they tell us that this all happened last night around 8:15 when a caller called 911 reporting that there were gunshots in the area. Someone had been shot. A 19-year-old man was shot in the neck, and he reportedly got into a taxi and went to Columbia Memorial Hospital, where he later died. Chief Moore says he does not believe that this has any connection to the 7 shootings that they had last summer, but that this was not a random attack. He believes this started with some sort of altercation.
It's another instance of gun violence. It's something that we're trying to work hard to prevent the best we can. I think the citizens are safe right now. I think we're putting a lot of assets to work here to try to find this guy as quickly as possible, try to find the person who did this as quickly as possible, and gather as much information as we can to quickly bring this to a resolution.
And police tell us they will not be releasing the name of the victim until the entire family has been notified. But again, this is 27-year-old Mohammed Morshid. He is considered to be armed and dangerous. If you have any information, you are asked to call police. We are live in Hudson. Samantha Damasio, News 10 ABC.
Thank you for the update, Sam. Another community trying to overcome violence. People living in Albany South End coming together 1 year since the Father's Day tragedy that killed a man. You may remember the incident. It was caught on camera, starting with a brawl at a Father's Day barbecue and a man pulling out a gun, opening fire, shooting Terrence Roberts multiple times. He died that day, and now his community is trying to move past that awful day, showing that they're stronger. His wife says that's what Roberts, who was known as Deke, would have wanted.
We would love it. I believe that he's up there looking down at us and saying, y'all do y'all thing.
And of course, we'll have more as that community came together to remember him. All right, now let's get you up to speed on the top stories that are trending on this Monday morning.
New details about an investigation to a contributor of Governor Cuomo's campaign. Nicole's at the Alert Desk with more on that story this morning.
Yeah, Ryan, a report from the Times-Union says that agents and the Orange County District Attorney are actively investigating a Hudson Valley company. As we reported last month, Crystal Run received $25 million in state grants after making nearly $400,000 in donations to Governor Cuomo's campaign. Now, at last check, the governor's office has not commented on the investigation. We'll keep you posted as we get more information. Christina.
And this comes as an ongoing effort to clean up corruption in New York State continues. Today, the bid rigging trial against SUNY Poly head honcho Elaine Caballeros is expected to begin in Manhattan. Caballeros, who was once tapped to run the governor's economic development projects, is one of several co-defendants. Prosecutors say he was influential in favoring developers in Buffalo and Syracuse, awarding them hundreds of millions of dollars in state contracts. News 10 ABC's Capitol correspondent Morgan McKay will be in the courtroom when that trial begins. Make sure you stay with us on the air and online for the latest developments.
Well, this morning, new outrage over the U.S.-Mexican border. The Trump administration standing firm on its zero-tolerance policy against people entering the country illegally. Nearly 2,000 migrant children have been separated from their families. Some lawmakers saying the policy is inhumane and un-American.
We fight for these kids. We fight for their parents. Yes, yes. Not just because they are kids, but because this is the story of our country.
Trump administration says the changes are necessary to deter immigrants from coming here illegally. The immigration debate expected to hit Capitol Hill this week. Lawmakers expected to vote on a compromise bill in the coming days.
This week, a heavy hauler that looks just like this will make its way through a local community, carrying radioactive materials and causing road closures and delays as well. 6 shipments of nuclear fuel rods scheduled to roll through Ballston Spa at just 5 miles per hour. The destination? The Kesselring site in Milton, where naval students study nuclear-powered submarines. Many people who live in Ballston Spa told us they're concerned that some of that radioactive material could spill. But a spokesperson for Kesselring says the Navy has done this more than 400 times without a hitch. This morning, we're working to figure out which day the heavy hauls will start rolling.
Please don't move it.
Panic after that roller coaster cart went off the track in Daytona Beach, Florida. You see it right here, this car just dangling in the air 30 feet above ground, people barely hanging on, 2 of them falling out of their seats. Thankfully, they both survived. This morning, we're hearing one of them describe what happened.
I remember hearing a lot of screeching, a lot of metallic, a lot of sounds that just weren't right. I closed my eyes, I held on. I remember being airborne, feeling as if I was falling. And then the next thing I remember was coming to on the ground looking up.
Can you imagine? We're also learning the ride has had issues before and failed inspections. In this case, though, right before the accident, it had passed an inspection. Authorities still trying to figure out then what exactly went wrong.
6:08 right now, 71 degrees outside. As Jess has been mentioning, it's going to be a hot one. Much of the capital region under a heat advisory for today.
Right, and that means a lot of people are going to be trying to cool off, and they'll be powering up the AC. National Grid calling it a peak day for power use. And National Grid wants you to reduce your electricity use, if at all possible, this afternoon between 3 and 7 p.m.
Now, we're not saying don't turn on the AC. Of course, you've got to stay cool, but try keeping the thermostat just a few degrees higher. For example, 72 instead of 68.
Right, makes a difference. Avoid using big appliances like an electric stove or the oven. You don't need that extra heat.
Nah, get outside and grill. Finally, between those 4 hours, try not using your pool pump or dehumidifier as well. For other ways to beat the heat and keep everybody protected today, stay cool. Head to that News 10 ABC app on your phone. It's free if you don't have it. Google Play or the App Store.
Well, happening today, summer travel season picking up in the TSA over at Albany International. We'll be sharing just how busy they expect it to get at the airport, how they're preparing, and what you can expect as a traveler. It happens later this morning, and we'll bring you an update on News 10 ABC. You know, it's that time of year, almost the official start to summer. Kids are done with school this week. Some are already done. So, got to expect it. Protesters back at the state capitol.
Coming up, how it could affect your commute in and around the area of the state capitol, downtown Albany, later on this afternoon.
It is going to be a hot week. I thought of a great way to stay cool, and wait till you see where I am this morning. You could be part of it too this week. We'll see you right after the break.
Nice zoom, Parker. Can almost skid right in there and take the cone right from Andrew's hand, almost. Today, find your own cone, find a way to beat the heat. It's hot, humid, hazy. Already warm right now. We turn stormy later. All the details in just a bit.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable.
I see as I turn the pillow over, I'm like, what did I hit a zipper and like rip my skin? I see this.
Under no circumstances will Jimmy dunk on me, and if need be, I will pull his shorts to the ground.
I'm at least as good a basketball player as Ted Cruz is a senator.
Laughing like, what, are you kidding me? Megan's like, what is wrong with this night?
Under no circumstances will Jimmy dunk on me, and if need be, I will pull his shorts to the ground.
I'm at least as good a basketball player as Ted Cruz is a senator.
Good Monday morning, everyone. It's 6:13. Thank you so much for starting your work week with us here at News 10 ABC. I hope you had a great weekend with Dad, celebrating your loved ones. This weekend was beautiful. Yesterday, we started picking up that heat as we officially hit a high of 90. Well, today, that air temperature only a few notches warmer, but it can easily feel is the key word, 10 to even 12 degrees hotter than that because of that dew point on the rise. Heat, humidity, and hazy skies are the headlines. And then later on, stronger storms are possible. At 6:14, looking outside, hey, there's a little sunshine out there, and we can see it thanks to our Stewart Shop Storm Tracker weather camera. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy right now, and we'll always have a little sun peeking through, but it's already very, very warm. 71 degrees right now in Albany, mid to upper 60s up north, the same east and even south. We're the highlight here in Albany at 71. Everybody else basically in the 60s and we'll get to the 60s when it comes to our dew points within a few hours. Right now, that dew point is in the mid to upper 50s as you travel across the capital region and east. This is nice, but that soupier air with dew points in the mid 60s, well, that continues to rise. And I think overall, already by noon, 1, 2 o'clock, you notice that dew point is close to 70. 71 to 72, downright tropical here in the capital region, and that is a call well through tonight where it's the air you can wear. It's a wet blanket as soon as you hit the great outdoors. You're going to try and find a way to beat the heat, right? You want to give the AC a break at times. You want to be outside. Well, just know, as dry as it is right now, we can't rule out a shower. Maybe by 9, 10 o'clock, a shower sparks up. But it's the cold front out west that will spark up more threats for stronger storms, widespread rain. That all moves in later on. So it's smooth sailing with the exception of a raindrop or two this morning with drier air. I think overall by 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, we may see a more pocket of rain that's isolated, a heavier downpour. Once we get to 4 and 5 o'clock, this is where you want to be especially weather aware. Check back often, stay updated. Between 5, 6, 7 o'clock, anybody has that threat for heavier downpours, stronger wind gusts, especially up in the North Country, the Adirondacks, and the Green Mountains. But I still want to emphasize everybody should be weather aware. Even if we don't have strong damaging wind gusts, it's likely we have very heavy downpours, which can make driving around town not the greatest as you make your way through a Monday. I know, it's already hard enough, then you got to deal with this. Looking at the weather outlook, the better threat, like I said, is north and going to the Adirondacks, even the Green Mountains. The Berkshires could get a taste of a strong wind gust. Everybody has that threat. Once we get through today, we actually turn less humid tomorrow. It's a little more comfortable. But for this high of 93, a reminder, it can feel closer to 100 degrees. So we're seriously letting you know this is one of those days. Hasn't felt like this in a while. I'll have your 7-day coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Jess. And since it's going to be such a hot day, of course, everybody's looking for a way to cool off. Here's one really good way.
Yeah, ice cream. He's at the Dutch Udder in Troy with more on that, and he's eating a lot this morning. Andrew?
Yeah, guys, I was supposed to be on a diet. My fiance has me on a strict diet for the honeymoon next week, but so far that is off the rails. I'm not even doing a good job, but it's worth it because this stuff is delicious. Joined again by Jeff. Jeff, you know what? Forget the diet. You guys show me something you were just telling me about. What is this we're going to be making?
This is the hot press glazed donut made with Skylar Bakery donuts.
Oh. Wow, all right, well, let's go over here then and check it out. Now, show me, oh my gosh, just look at that. Where are those donuts from?
They're from Skylar Bakery Donut right over in Waterville Elite. So we'll grab one of them.
Okay.
Cut it in half.
I grab the right utensil here. I hope I don't lose a finger on air.
Go over here, and I'll have you do the honors. Open up some Utter Death ice cream made with the local coffee roasters.
Get right in there, right? Get a nice scoop.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
And we'll
put that on.
Right on top of one of them.
And then on the other side.
Yep, we're going to put some Nutella on there. So over here we have.
Okay. I'll give that back to you.
Throw some Nutella on one side.
How's that? Good amount?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Then
Look at this.
smear it right
I'm a
on
natural. I'm a natural.
You're something.
Yeah, I'm something.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then put them together. We'll put it in the hot press.
Okay.
For 8 seconds. All right. Smush it down. You can do the honors.
Flip it.
Flip it, and we'll press the start button. And while that's cooking, you'll grab yourself a pocket and the. Grab that. It's ready.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, so we'll flip this.
Yep. Grab that.
Oh, wow.
A little juicy.
I already made a mess.
Sir.
What else is new? Take it out.
And there you go.
Let's make sure everyone can see this. This is a breakfast of champions. There's only one thing left to do.
Try it out.
What diet? Diet's out the window.
Oh my goodness.
Best thing in Troy.
Back
It's
to
that
you
good.
guys.
Andrew is speechless. It's that good. Oh my god. And no calories today.
None at all.
Isn't that a special treat
That's
today?
right. When it's this hot out, they don't exist.
All right, for the latest forecast on the go, just a reminder that you can always download our Storm Tracker weather app. Going to be a hot one today, and we could see those storms, so it's handy to have. Google Play or the App Store is where you
Calories
find.
melt away before they hit your stomach. All right, well, that was the scene in Mexico City when the Mexican national soccer team scored its winning goal against Germany. Defending World Cup champs, by the way. Apparently, fans in the city were so excited and jumping so much, so many people, seismic sensors went off.
Unbelievable.
No kidding. Monitoring group in Mexico City saying it caused a small earthquake, jumping enough that the sensors picked it up. Party was also going strong in Russia. Fans who traveled from Mexico breaking out in song with a full mariachi there, but it didn't cause any earthquakes there.
No. You know what? They're happy. Team spirit.
That's right. Man.
Incredible.
Oh, you beat the defending champ. Hey.
Exactly. It's a lot to
6:20
celebrate.
right now, 71 degrees outside. Keeping your family protected from the sun, especially on days like today.
Find out what sunscreen you shouldn't be using. We'll tell you why one lawmaker is calling it dangerous. That's ahead.
Under no circumstances will Jimmy dunk on me, and if need be, I will pull his shorts to the ground.
I'm at least as good a basketball player as Ted Cruz is a senator.
Trash talk leading up to a very unepic game between Jimmy Kimmel and Senator Ted Cruz, who took home the trophy in the Blobfish Basketball Classic. We'll show you more after 7 when we move over to Fox 23.
Now, your Storm Tracker forecast, live from the Curtis Lumber Trex Weather Deck.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I need a little more Aquanet out here to keep my hair intact as the wind is already picking up. And today, expect the winds to pick up near 30 miles per hour, even outside of thunderstorms. The wind today, we welcome it, of course, when it's not damaging, because we're talking about a hazy, hot, humid day where it's downright oppressive. An eventual high of 93 degrees could feel closer to 100. So please stay cool. Know that we have a mix of sun and clouds. Any of those storms late in the afternoon through tonight could push on strong. I will show you in Futurecast timing it all out. And then the threat, as you saw with the sunshine, hey, more comfortable air in that 7-day forecast. If you looked ahead, more lower 80s, a little more comfortable. I'll have all the details on your full forecast coming up in about 7 minutes. For now, back to you guys.
Lisa, won't last too long, Jess. Thank you. 6:25 right now. President Trump heading to Capitol Hill tomorrow to discuss immigration proposals coming up for a vote this week. The debate taking place as demonstrations spread. ABC's Ryan Smith has a look at what you'll see coming up on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, outrage over the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy for undocumented immigrants and asylum seekers is growing. From New Jersey, where 7 congressmen demanded entry into this detention center, to the U.S.-Mexican border, protesters marching by the hundreds outside a facility near El Paso. And farther south in McAllen, where more than 1,000 detainees, men, women, and children, are being held temporarily. In these images released by the Department of Homeland Security, you can see the sprawling array of fenced-in cells and bare floors.
I just don't think that this should be happening, and something has to be done.
And coming at 7 a.m., we'll have full live coverage and the latest response from the White House. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ryan Smith, ABC News, New York.
And still to come on News 10 ABC this morning, chaos breaking out at an arts festival.
Gunfire in the crowd, leaving more than 20 people injured. What we're learning about the suspect who police say pulled the trigger.
And closer to home, we're following that breaking news with police searching for a person of interest in a shooting that killed a 19-year-old. Nicole will have the latest on that from the Alert Desk in a moment.